Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back. I'm James and you're watching Blue Dog Aquatics. Alright, today, first off, I want to tell you the store is doing absolutely amazing, and that's all thanks to you guys. We blasted all over social media that hey, we're here to stay, and the outcome has just been tremendous. We have been getting slammed every day and educating the public on these animals, and people have been taking these amazing creatures home so that they'll have their own family. So big thank you for that. Also, right now they're actually outside. They're putting up our sign. Finally, it's only been like 4 months. I mean, biggest headache in the world. But you'll be able to see our sign. It'll say Fish and Reptiles from everywhere, from all the corners. So make sure to come down, see it, and enjoy us with us. Now, today what we're doing is we're actually talking about something that's very near and dear, something that's very important, and that is quarantine. Now, why is it so important to quarantine? Now, you may ask, well, I don't quarantine my reptile. I don't quarantine my fish. Well, that's wrong. Not so much. If you have a lot of animals at home, I do recommend having a quarantine set up, because what happens if you import or you buy this animal online or this reptile online and it comes in and it's sick? It happens, especially in the cold weather. These reptiles aren't used to that type of insanely cold weather. And so they may come in sick. Well, if you put them right away with another animal, let's say that you order in a leopard gecko and you immediately put it in with your other leopard gecko. Well, guess what? What happens if the leopard gecko that came in is sick? Well, now there's a chance that it could pass that sickness on to one of your other leopard geckos. And we just don't want that. You know, we would rather you quarantine an animal and for a couple of weeks just to make sure it's healthy when you bring it in on a shipment, or just to make sure that there's nothing wrong with it. All the health's good, it's eating good. So yeah, but without further ado, I'll kind of show you my quarantine room a little bit at the shop here. It was a lot bigger at my house because I had the space, but here in the quarantine room it's my office / quarantine room. So yeah, let's take a peek around. Alright guys, as you can see right here, this is our quarantine snake rack. Now you can see it's nice and clean, and that's how you want to keep it. Anytime you're getting in these new animals, whether they're sick, yes, they're divided by the tubs, but guess what? Those tubs still have vent holes. So you always want to make sure to keep your environment clean, especially in a quarantine setup. Now, as you can see, a lot of the tubs are upside down. That tells me that they've been cleaned. That tells me that there's nothing in them. Don't mind this one. There actually is nothing in it. It's just extra water dishes, extra hides, just somewhere to keep it out. There is only one animal that's actually in here right now, and he's in here because he came in with mites, and he's been struggling a little bit, but you can see him down here. This is our Candino Candy albino ball python, but you can see the bulges in his stomach right here, and that means that he ate for us finally, and he's starting to put back on weight, which is awesome. So hopefully he'll be able to come out of quarantine in the next couple of weeks, as long as he keeps progressing. We're still treating with mite care just to make sure that they all stay off of him. It happens, unfortunately. But a little bit about the quarantine setup here. As you can see, we just have paper towels. He's quarantined. You know, when you're dealing with illnesses or infections or what have you, you want a bare minimum of it. You don't want to have bedding in here, because especially with like mites, if mites are on him, well then mites are in his bedding, and then if you bathe him and put him back in his bedding, well then the mites are just going to crawl back on him, and You just don't want that. So every time that he gets a soak, we go through and we sterilize his whole bin. He gets treated, then he gets bathed, and then he gets brought back into a sterile environment. You can see over here he is starting to poop, which is a good sign. But yeah, we use paper towels. It's the easiest way. We have one hide, no additional rocks or driftwood or anything like that. We have a very basic water dish, something that he can soak in or get a drink out of. So we're going to close him back up. He ate yesterday for us, which is so exciting. Now these are not quarantine. These are actually my dubia bins and lobster roaches down below. That's we just don't have a whole lot of room. I mean, like, same, I have super worms over here, but it is what it is. Now we'll spin around. Yep, look at my desk. It's all chaotic and messy. Now right here you can see that we have 3, 6, 9. I know there's a chair in the way, but you know, I'll move that out of the way so you guys can kind of see a little bit better. But what these are these are just 10-gallon aquariums. The bottom 6 are sterilized. We did have a couple of animals up in the top 3, so tomorrow we're gonna have to go through and sterilize out these. These are just glass bottom enclosures. They can be used for lizards or anything like that, and it's the same concept. You know, we go in, put paper towels in, put a water dish, put a hide, and then they chill in there for 1 to 2 weeks, depending on what they are and how big they are. Obviously, when they're bigger, we have to put them out on the floor, but still quarantine them, which most everybody is understandable about when it comes to that. Now, if you look over here, we have the 75-gallon. I know some of it's hidden by the other rack, but like I said, this room is not that big. So we have the 75 in here for fish. And if you see, all right, let's see if we can see him. This little guy right here is in here because he's a silver dollar, and he's in here because the silver dollars that he came in with were just beating the living crap out of him, and so he was in really rough shape. So we put him in the 75. As you can see, like I said, quarantine. There's no substrate in the bottom. There's no decor. It's just filtration. This allows me to, if he's injured, which he was to dose the tank so that he can start getting healthy. He'll be back out in his own tank probably in a couple of days. He's been in here for about a week and a half, so he'll definitely get moved back out there. Big things, you know, always, I'm going to point this out on here. Ooh, let's see if we can focus on it. Oh, maybe it's not trying to. So this is vet care, and this is an antibiotic for reptiles. It works really well. We had a couple of Peter Bannons come in with health issues. They had cuts and wounds, and that really helps alleviate some of the issues. We also have Reptile wipes for bathing for some of the snakes. And then we also have over here Mite Guard. We have the electrolyte soak for the beardies and the dragons. We have hand sanitizer and wipeout cleanouts and hooks, and oh, that's gonna fall. Woo! Lots of paper towels. Paper towels are really good in a quarantine room. We also have a humidifier down here, so when we do have animals that come in that maybe that are struggling with shedding or need a little bit of help, we do help them out by pumping in humidity, which then runs in kind of an issue because then we have our windows get all fogged up out here, and so it's funny because we have a humidifier out here and then a dehumidifier out here, and they're like, it's like a constant cycle battle. But yeah. But yeah, like I said, guys, quarantine. It is very, very vital because like I said, when you order reptiles online, you have no idea. You're going off of a picture. You have no idea what kind of shape that animal is coming in. You guys all remember Blueberry, my chameleon. He came in such rough shape that, you know, he was supposed to come in, go through quarantine for a couple of weeks, and then come down to the Aquatics show for us, and it didn't happen. I mean, he was in quarantine for a better part of 4 or 5 months just to bring out all the health issues. And so be careful. So if you are ordering from a reptile person online or an aquatic person online, make sure to do your research. Make sure that they are a reputable breeder. Make sure that they take care of their animals. So we don't want you to struggle with these kind of issues, but it does happen. So worst case scenario in your house, if you know you have your full display, have one tank set aside for if you are going to bring in animals on a regular basis, just so you can quarantine and keep all your other little critters safe. So hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Like I said, we just want to share the importance of quarantine and how vital it is. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned. We're going to post some pictures of the new sign. Yeah, it's going to be exciting. And as always, guys, the big question, and that's your tank or mine.